everyone. This is a brief recap of what we've reviewed in the Tools for Transition. To understand what it means to advance a just transition of California's energy system, we must understand the energy system we seek to change. Today, we'll dig into some of the challenging questions surrounding the extraction required for the clean energy transition and provides reflection prompts to help envision pathways for real solutions. So first and foremost, water is life. This is why in our first session, we focus on the watershed that we are nested within and learn about the waters that flow through our communities. In session 2, we focus on the pillars of extractive economy in place today that exploit enclosed and commodify water and other life sources. We also discuss the impact and implications of these economic structures on our day-to-day lives. Then in our last session, we talked about how our worldview has shifted as a result of the extractive economy, how water is not seen as life, but instead, water is power, a resource that has been enclosed and commodified. We zoomed in on the PG&E Power Alley, the energy system that uses a series of dams and high voltage transmission lines to centralize the power of the Feather River watershed and provide electricity to Sacramento and Oakland. This system extracts massive amounts of water from the river, effectively starving the surrounding ecosystem of water. These drier conditions, in combination with warmer temperatures, have led to sparking PG&E transmission lines, igniting both the campfire that burned down the town of Paradise in 2018 and the Dixie Fire that burned nearly 1 million acres in 2021. Today, we're going to focus on the continued extraction of water and life from this ecosystem. So I'm going to pause and ask if you know what the single largest consumer of electricity is in the state of California. Think about it. Well, the answer is the California State Water Project, which extracts the water from the Feather River watershed in Northern California and pumps it down the Central Valley into Southern California. It is the pumping of water that consumes massive amounts of electricity. So where does the water go? So now let's take a thinking. Let's just imagine a little bit. When you think about the Central Valley, what do you see in your head? Agriculture, farms, deserts, maybe fossil fuels. The demand for this water can be bucketed into 3 main categories: industry and agriculture, who uses the majority of the water, and then everyone else. Since its founding, one of California's largest industries has been the oil and gas industry. And while reducing the carbon footprint of oil and gas has become a key climate metric, what's less talked about is the water used by the fossil fuel industry. To feed the need for this water, industry and agriculture extracted the water from the ground, so much so that the land is sinking in many places across the Central Valley, ultimately indicating that the aquifers are being drained dry. Look at this photo. Thus increasing the need for water from rivers further away. Some quick math on this then. Extracting 1 barrel of oil produces 17 barrels of wastewater. All of that water is life being extracted. Meanwhile, British Petroleum hired the famous PR firm Ogilvy and Mather to coin the term carbon footprint that many of us are familiar with and promote the slant that climate change is not the fault of an oil giant, but that of individuals like you and me. And here lies the crux of our question today. What if we switch to clean energy? What if instead of oil and gas, power for industry has produced by solar and wind turbines and stored in batteries? We know that today, there are not enough raw materials in the supply chain to achieve the 100% clean energy goals in place. So more will have to be extracted. So we wonder, what does extracting these materials require? And that one answer is clear. more water. Seen here is what is currently the only lithium mining operation in the United States. Located in the Nevada desert, water is pumped from the aquifer 3,000 to 5,000 feet below the surface and then evaporated to access the lithium. Very similar to a salt flat. The pools seen here are each nearly 500 football fields long. This is what it looks like at scale. In the Salar de Atacama shown above and right here on the screen, approximately 500,000 gallons of water is needed per ton of lithium, which has led to 65% of the region's water being extracted and evaporated. That's 65% of the region's water. Back in California here, the Salton Sea region of the Imperial Valley, now dubbed the Lithium Valley, has the potential to produce 600,000 tons of lithium each year, 600,000 tons. And companies like General Motors, Ford, and then of course everyone's favorite, PG&E, have already invested millions of dollars into this project. Using the estimate from the previous slide, this would require 300 billion gallons of water per year. Water that will have to be extracted using pumps that require large amounts of electricity, large amounts of energy. To summarize with a quote from mining reporter Jael Holzman, the transition away from fossil fuels is not a transition away from extraction, but simply a switch to a different form. So we recognize that to build a future beyond PG&E and other private utilities, we must begin co-creating and implementing alternatives today. These alternatives are necessary to ensure that power to live, which we define not only as electricity, but water, clean air, and healthy soil, can be accessed by all without compromising the health and safety of any community, and advance in right relationship with the planets and each other. This means advancing solutions that reject the notion that sacrifice zones are necessary and truly committing to a just transition. Say no to sacrifice zones without compromising the health and safety of any community. This is the purpose of Tools for Transition. So to reflect on this video, we have prepared the following questions to guide your thinking. How are you feeling after reviewing this information? What insights did you gain about the centralized energy system? What question does it bring up for you? How might we starve the beast to end the extraction in all forms? What do we need to meet our own water and electricity needs? And I hope you can drop in chat, share some thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you understand a little bit more about Tools for Transition, and there will be more coming. Thank you.